was like, get me some fucking test. Kid on the way, accounts down, public hate. I was like, load me the fuck up.
You mentioned before you got rid of the cars because you had a hard situation. What was that hard situation?
Yeah, bro. I mean, it's...
What do you think about the Tate brothers? I think they have amazing advice. I think that they've changed millions of young men's lives. You know, my girl the other day was like, I don't like them because she's fed propaganda on her page. I was like, he's the fucking reason you're here. I saw Tate rocking a white girl. I was like, fuck the Latinas. I need a Russian Barbie.
Everybody I get from outside America is like hearts. I love the message, inspirational. But everybody in America, I feel like that's where I do get a lot of hate. And I was like, maybe I serve from afar.
Yeah.
You know, it's the end of the world. What are you going to do? You have so many setbacks. I think I'm basically in the same spot as getting to my goals.
And I feel like the reason why you're such a beast right now at 23 is because of that. Because you've had to go to a deep, dark place, bro.
Yeah, you got to have thick skin with social media and it'll give you that.
Nigga, man up. The fuck you doing crying on Instagram? You know how hard it is? Nigga, you got cupcake-ass problems. You probably got rent due and your bitch left. You got no enemies, nigga. Nobody's coming to fucking save you either. All 1,000 of those support comments wouldn't give you a fucking dollar if you asked. So you need to compose yourself and lock the fuck in.
Why does everyone compare you to Wes Watson?
I don't know.
Well, guys, you already know exactly what time it is, because we are, of course, back with the most pubelicious man of the alpha male universe, and with the only goober who has the audacity to be rocking a bowl haircut that he, for some reason, decided to combine with a perm. So naturally, I'm talking about the one and only Pubes Watson, aka Vincent Fischer. And man, has this guy just been on one. Because if you've been keeping up with the channel, then you would know that we have not only been just covering the countless little students that he has been pumping out that are basically just clones of him. You know, a bunch of little puby juniors just going nuts online. But we also covered him about a week and a half ago, where we watched his goofy ass end up getting banned on Instagram, where he was pretty upset about it.
So what happened to your Prime account? I mean, I had people ban me. You know, I'm the most controversial and popping figure on the internet. And, you know, they made hate videos. Everybody still loved me. And they're like, it's not working. And then they tried to make lies, and then I made more videos. People were like, I love them too much, and then they ban you. You know, they silence you. So it's kind of what we're dealing with. I don't want to pay $5K to get banned again and pay another $5K and continue that cycle. So I'm just going to blast out 1,000 accounts. The karma of banning Vincent Fischer will be way greater than any reward that you could have. But, you know, there was no fear. There was no worry. It was just, what's the next best move? Let me hit up some hackers that I know and have them work on it.
And I guess him hitting up his little hacker buddies must have been just some extreme cope. It must have just been some downright bullshit, because it did not work whatsoever. And his account has still been remaining banned and got repoed just like his fucking cars. So naturally, damn near every Q&A is basically just fucking with him about it. And it has led to him progressively just getting more and more annoyed, to where he just ended up saying fuck the main account and ended up going on a little rant and tangent about how if people haven't found this account, then they were just sheep anyway, and they shouldn't have been following him.
You know, Vince, where's the main account? Vince, what happened to the main? Nigga, f the main. At this point, if you haven't found my side account, you ain't a real follower. You know, when I get my main back, I'm unfollowing every single nigga that didn't find this account. Niggas want to follow you because it's a fucking trend. Sheep ass niggas.
So obviously, he still hasn't been taking it too well, even 2 weeks later, but somehow he has managed to go through like the different stages of grief with losing his account. And he went from sitting there talking about fuck the account and he'll eventually get it back, to him now saying that it's one of the best things that has ever happened to him, because now he can basically just spam as many different little clipping accounts as he wants to, and the main account was apparently holding him back. So his emotions are all over the place with it, and it just appears that he's going through a whole lot of cope with it at this point.
So main account's down is wild. How do you plan to go about this? I mean, my account's being down is probably the best thing that could have happened, because I've been procrastinating and stalling on making multiple accounts. Every single dominating figure on the internet doesn't have one centralized account anymore. They have hundreds of accounts across platforms. So right now we've made 50 to 100 so far. I plan on making 1,000 more. And the thing is, followers don't matter as much as they used to before. Before, if you had 100,000 followers, you would know that you get a certain amount of likes, story views, a certain percentage of your audience would see. And now it's unlike that at all. It's almost like TikTok, where attention is rented. So it's the best thing that could have happened.
So as I'm sure you can tell, he's saying and doing anything to come to terms with it. And along with doing so, I guess he decided that since his account was gone, he was going to double down and make as much content as he possibly could, just yapping about bullshit. And a lot of it has been focused on him basically just responding to the haters or trying to talk shit to the haters, because I guess he blames them for getting his account banned.
I mean, the three main ways that you just know if a man is gay. Number one, he talks about other men and gossips all day. Number two, he hangs around women too much. And number three, he's overly emotional. These are three main traits, because if he's talking about other men and not building, it's gay. You got other men's meat in your mouth all day. The second thing, if a man hangs around women too much, it's just too much feminine energy. What do girls even talk about? Makeup and other dudes? And the third thing being overly emotional. If a man's fucking crying to you about his problems, and my girl left and this and that, he's a weak man and he'll fucking snake you. Boys, I'm not gonna lie, my biggest fucking pet peeve is when cowards that have never attempted or accomplished anything have any sort of opinion, judgment, or piece of advice to give. You haven't done shit. Well, if I was this guy, I would have done that. You live with your mom and you jack off all day. Okay, you're not that guy. And it's as simple as that. Until you're in position, until you have some accomplishments under your belt, then you can start giving advice. But before that, you don't know shit. You're just a spectator. You could think you know something. It's easy to sit on the sidelines and judge. If I went to a pro boxing match and I was like, well, he should have swung left and ducked and went there and seen that coming. Bro, anybody can see something coming from the sidelines. Get in the game.
So as you can tell, he's not too happy about other men apparently gossiping about him or trying to have an opinion about him when he thinks that they've just done nothing, and that apparently if you disagree with him or call him out for bullshit, you just sit at home, live with your parents, and jerk off all day. And it seems that a lot of the trolls that have been fucking with him about his Instagram account getting banned have been really getting to the goober. And this is not where the pubinator's bullshit has even began to end, because along with the surge of content that he's just been spamming and constantly pushing out, he also decided that he was going to go on yet again another podcast, and it was of course with another mega glazer who just came out the gates with some shit like this, looking like he was about to bust in his pants while staring at the pubes on his forehead.
Well done.
Appreciate it, bro.
You're a beast.
Hell yeah.
You're a beast. You'll be a future billionaire, 100%.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
Shit, you're 23. Fuck. Well done.
Appreciate it.
Well, who made this? Who made this person?
So clearly, the podcast host is a complete fan, and I've never seen a man look so turned on by just looking at Vincent and hearing he's only 23, like this man right here got. And naturally, it led into him basically just doing some more glazing of Vincent throughout the entire podcast. And they, of course, had to talk about what he did and had to promote his courses a little bit, because as we all know, Pubes Watson is hurting for money. And the entire time that Pubes is trying to push his courses, this goober is sitting there talking about how he's apparently doing God's work, and again is looking at him like he wants to bang him just right there in the back seat.
Because with drop shipping, I mean, you need inventory sometimes, you're finding products. With day trading, you make money, you lose it the next. With online coaching, the reason there's such a high success rate is the fact that if you're selling a 2K program, which is information, if you close 5 people in a month, it's 10K a month right there.
Yeah.
So why we had so many wins.
It's probably why you have so much good karma as well, because you've changed so many lives.
100%. I get a message every single day.
It's like God's work, almost.
Yeah.
And in a world where university is like kind of dying out, you don't really need to go to university. The future of university is people like you, teaching people how to make real money in the real world. If they were teaching what you're teaching at schools, we would have a lot more successful people, a lot more entrepreneurs, a lot more business people.
Yeah, for sure. I always say experience is the best teacher. When I was 16, I dropped out of high school. Not because I couldn't have finished and taken the college route, etc., but I had older brothers. So I got to watch them get into student loan debt and party and whatever, and then end up having to find a job, not even related to the degree that they got. Then I was like, do I want to do that? No, I'm going to take a different path. And I kind of just burned the bridges and started studying entrepreneurs.
And I do not know what the fuck this clown next to him thinks that Vincent is out here teaching people, or why he needs to be the standard that's replacing professors. But the only thing this clown has been teaching all of his little clones and students is how to sit there online, basically talk shit about the haters, get upset and get mad, and to flex rented cars just like he did. So it's really nothing too special, and if anything, it's just pathetic because he's teaching them how to live a fake life. But to this guy, apparently he's just doing God's work, and he is just straight up suckling from the pubes Watson titty at this point, as he acts as if he is one of the best men to walk on the planet. And then on top of that, as soon as they go into high school, every time that Pubes talks about it, he just cannot help but to throw out there that the reason he didn't finish high school was because he wasn't stupid and couldn't do it, but instead it was a choice he made, when we all know that that is a load of horse shit. But naturally, the podcast continued to go this way, as they were just talking about his courses and continuing to yap about them, and it led into them then talking about the haters, because of course Vincent is obsessed with it right now, and this guy just ends up going to bat for him and is basically doing all the shit talking for him against the haters, just making sure to ride his poppy to completion.
And these guys, they really take time out of their day to make videos about you.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? It's like a 20-minute video.
I love it. I see a lot of them. I mean, I can't make it through some because it's just brain rot, but I think it's great. I think it's amazing.
Do you ever respond?
I have, and it's strategic. So, I mean, I've made probably, 4 responses, and it's of me, usually short form. If I notice somebody has a big audience, I see it from a strategic standpoint. And obviously, I'm going to make a video talking some shit back and playing the game and getting, boom, let me grab 2,000 followers right there. But outside of that, I mean, I've kind of just stayed away from it. I'm fortunate enough to have good people in my life too. And I had my girl one time, I'm 4 videos deep of, different responses. And she's just like, you're just becoming one of them now. And I was like, you're right. Let me go back to motivation and not let it distract me too much. But I think it's great. I think it's amazing.
Should we address some of them now?
Yeah, we can.
There's a video that I saw. A guy made a 17-minute video. Like, he really put in work. It was all edited and everything. I'm like, man, you're making a video to like bash another man. Like,
yeah.
How feminine is that? It's feminine behavior.
Yeah, for sure.
Bashing another man is feminine behavior. Right? Do you think the same when you see it? You're like, it's just feminine behavior. It's just childish.
I mean, this is my philosophy in life. If somebody doesn't live the life that I want to live, if I don't see them as somebody I could look up to, I just don't care.
And yeah, obviously the pubinator is just talking out of his ass at this point, because as we saw, he is constantly pretty much just trying to call out the haters in any way he possibly can, whether it's pointing out the 3 things that make a man gay, or whether it's just him straight up bitching in general. And he has damn sure responded a lot more than 4 times. At this point, we're looking at 400. And then on top of that, this isn't even a podcast anymore. It's just the host trying to be his friend and trying to glaze the shit out of him, where instead of giving any type of pushback at any point, he's actively defending him and talking about a recent video made on him, which I'm assuming is my video since I just dropped a 17-minute one on him at around the time they did this goofy shit. And he just starts going on about how it's feminine energy and doing the typical thing that all of these goobers do when somebody disagrees with them or points out bullshit that they think they're actively doing, which is to just try to call them names, label it something like feminine or gay, and instead of addressing the argument, they just do that. So obviously it's some goofy shit, and Pubes Watson goes on to talk about the haters a good bit more, and how apparently he just doesn't take any offense to it, even though, as we've already seen, he clearly constantly does. And it's just a whole lot more yapping as they try to disprove anybody who calls out the bullshit courses.
I don't take any offense to somebody that I wouldn't want to be like. The times that I've gotten the most offended is somebody I look up to may, bash or talk shit about me. And that'll really fuel me. As in, damn, I saw this person as, an icon or somebody I wanted to be like. Now I got to pass them. But I mean, if it's somebody that's 40 years old, YouTube monetizing to make $2,000 a month, like I really don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care much. Yeah.
Got it. And I think they're also doing it to catch on to some of the clout that you've got.
Yeah.
There's a guy that made a video and is like, I got scammed $14,000 from Vincent, yada, yada, yada. I didn't watch it.
Yeah.
But I just saw the thumbnail. What's the story behind that?
I didn't watch it either. Yeah. But from what I can understand, I know that I put work into all my clients. And we've had, I don't know, let's just say 60 to 80 people a month selectively that join. Anybody that's paid a high ticket amount, I jump on with, or I have coaches that follow up with them. We have an entire pipeline too. So a lot of the time when somebody spends or agrees to spend a certain amount of money and agrees that they're going to put the work in and follow through and execute, and they don't, they call it a scam.
And then after both even admitting that they didn't even watch the video, they then go on to just jump to conclusions, and to Vince instantly just discrediting all of it by saying, oh, they must not have worked hard enough. Which, if that is the case, then a shit ton of his clients must not work hard enough, because as we've seen with all of his little clones and wannabes, the motherfuckers haven't been really getting anywhere except for getting made fun of and becoming a lolcow. And it continues to get even goofier as the guy then decided to ask him why people compare him to Wes Watson, which shows me that he's seen his nickname as Pubes Watson, which is just kind of funny.
Why does everyone compare you to Wes Watson?
I don't know. I think that fitness, same niche. I think that crowd too. They just, I guess they like fitness people. They bunch me in there, but I guess that's it.
Do you know him personally?
I've met him a few times here and there. We used to go to the same gym, but I never really sat down and had a long conversation or anything like that.
Got it. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was weird. I saw that. I was like, I don't know. I don't
Yeah. It's the niche of the trolls. I mean, that's their thing.
Got it.
And of course, it's just apparently the trolls and the haters again, and we're just gonna ignore all of the very close similarities with him and Wesley, like the fact that they both rant their entire life, that they're selling the same courses with damn near the same exact message, and that they're both just trying to be these alpha males online. I mean, shit, it has even been exposed that they're both out here renting their cars and using them to sell the courses. So obviously he's gonna be compared to Wes, except he gets his very own nickname because he wanted to cover his face and head in pubes. And speaking of the rented cars, they also address that because it seems to be another topic that has been really just bugging the shit out of Vincent. And just like the other things, the host immediately tries to defend him as Vince tries to make up any type of excuse as to why his shit got repossessed.
You mentioned before you got rid of the cars because you had a hard situation. What was that hard situation?
Yeah, bro. I mean, imagine in the snap of a finger overnight, everything that you thought you owned and you poured $70,000 a month into was going nowhere. And then imagine on top of that, when you go, hey, what is this? Every single word you were told, when you looked back to the fine print and writing, it was the opposite. And there were words that anything we tell you doesn't relate to this contract. And you know that you've signed. And you want to pursue this battle, but they go, yeah, we've done this 1,000 times. We're going to make you spend legal fees for 3 years, and you're going to lose the money anyway, and you wouldn't recover it. And then you go, okay. You know what, bro? I think it sounds cliche to say. If I were to go out and say, hey, cars don't matter, after I get rid of cars, people say, oh, he just went broke and whatever. But, I think that it's good to experience, and I think you need to get that out of your system. Get the car you want, but don't put it before your mission of serving.
And he obviously just tries to keep it extremely vague so that there is the interpretation that maybe he just got screwed over in a contract or something. And you gotta love how he even tries to talk about how it's not all about cars anymore and he doesn't give a shit about cars. When for the past year and a half, that has been his entire personality, was that he was this 22-year-old who had all of these supercars and had this SVJ and all this other bullshit. But now all of a sudden, now that those cars got repossessed, they just don't matter anymore. And that pretty much sums up the entire podcast, which seemed to be just a PR stunt at this point because the guy is just back there riding him in the back seat with how hard he was glazing him, and it was just ridiculous as shit. And besides this, the other content that he's just been spamming out has been him talking about how apparently since he's having a kid, he's gonna hop back on test and is gonna be trying to get bigger again, so I guess the comments about him being small have also really gotten to him.
Listen, I came to Dubai and they say Dubai is the city that has everything. Vince, what do you need? Vince, I got you. I was like, get me some fucking test. Kid on the way, accounts down, public hate. I was like, load me the fuck up. So I'm feeling the Hulk juice. I'm feeling the fucking pump and we're about to go crazy, fam.
So he didn't learn his lesson the first time from the medical issues he's talked about having. And he's just gotten an ego boost from hell, all because he got his girlfriend pregnant and has been posting shit like this.
I mean, listen, as a man, if you have a woman, you didn't get her pregnant, what the fuck are you doing? The fuck do you have a girl for? An accessory? We need to produce children. I'm trying to repopulate. Well, Vince, I wrapped up. I'm not ready for a kid yet. Nigga, get the kid and figure it out later. Why do you think you see so many successful entrepreneurs saying, I do this for my son? You think that's a fucking coincidence, fam? I'm life maxing.
And just great advice as always, by telling people to just have a kid and worry about being able to support them later, which is just asking for a whole lot of issues. And just a lot more stupidity from the one and only Pubes Watson. But with that said, that's enough of this clown for one day. And it seems he is only getting worse as he continues to be banned. But if you enjoyed, please drop the sub and a like and join the Saints Mafia, where we are flaming all of these alpha male lames. And I'm out, watching Pubes Watson continue to look like a dipshit. And peace.
So is it gay to watch Love Island? I mean, that is gay. You know, it's just, and what's even more gay is if you let your girl watch it. You know, you look over, you know, it's funny because I think this was a year ago. I heard just gay sounds. And I look at my girl's laptop. I'm like, what the fuck are you watching? Oh, there's Love Island. Well, my friends watch it. I was like, well, you're not your friends. That's gay. Close the fucking laptop. Okay, a lot of the time you guys wonder why your girl wakes up and just decides to be a hoe. It's because of all the programming that's put in front of her. You know, if you watch enough fucking women fuck multiple dudes in a fucking orgy fest, what are you going to become? You are what you eat. You know, so not only watch what you are watching, but watch what, you know, your girl's watching. Simple as that.